Hello, everybody. This
Welcome
is
to part 2 of the
Elite
podcast.
Strategist, and this is indeed part two of our podcast. And we are a little better prepared for this part. And we're gonna start this podcast right off with something we did a little while ago, and it was an IQ test. And to be honest, we both failed miserably, and we are deemed now as retards. So
119.
he got 2 points more than me, but we weren't really taking it that serious.
Yeah,
But
we weren't.
but we are now considered retards, and actually I don't know if that went to the government or not. Hopefully not.
Yeah.
That would be really bad if it went to the government. I'd feel ashamed if that went to the government.
Yeah. So IQs are, I don't know. Not
Well,
mine's
I
not
mean,
119.
the one we where we yeah, obviously it's not 119. The place where we took our IQ was
Was on the
not.
internet.
It was on the internet and was definitely not probably reliable. So, I mean, they actually wanted us to donate money to them. It was just like a small survey, like 36 questions, and then they sent us our IQ to us by email, and we will have the website in the description if you indeed want to
Want
take it yourself and see if you're smarter than us. My IQ is 117. Riley's is 119.
Oh yeah, topping in at
And
119.
Seamus's would indeed be 79 because that's Forrest Gump's. And Hunter would probably get 110 or something. I kid you, Seamus. I kid you.
We kid you all.
We'd probably get Seamus would probably get around 115, maybe.
Yeah, with that test probably.
Yeah. It's such an inaccurate test. It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
But
Can't believe it. I can't believe we did this so badly.
it's not our fault, lady. It was a scam. They did it just for the credit card numbers.
Yeah, that's true. They probably would have stolen our money.
Yeah. They probably would have been like, here's our money. See you
And
suckers.
transitioning onto a different topic, we have story time
A
with
small
Riley.
story time with Really Fraser.
So the way this goes down is I say a story, and we both dissect it.
As best as we
Like
can.
we take out its heart and all the components.
And we're supposed to relate it to life, just like we do in all our little classes. And we're supposed to see how bad their choices were made.
Yep.
Yeah, so
So here we
I'm
go.
gonna start the story off. I'm gonna just give one small thing.
All
Okay,
right.
you're gonna have to add on to this. There was a small kid named Riley, and he was retarded. Go.
He had a friend named Chris, and he was also retarded.
Very well. What else?
Um, they would go to the park in their little wheelchairs. Okay, that's too much. Sorry.
That
Sorry.
that
That's
was
too much.
way too much.
They would go to the park and go on a swing and have a jolly good time.
For they were childish and had little knowledge of their ignorance.
And so they played hours on end, day after day,
At the park.
at the park. But then
With
one
their
day,
Pokemon card.
Chris didn't show up to the park.
It
Riley
turned
was
out
very, very scared, and he did not know what to do.
he did not, for he was fraught with fear.
And so Riley made the decision to go to the park by himself. It
What
was
happened
very
to
frightening,
Chris?
but he managed.
What happened to Chris?
Chris.
That's what everybody wants to know.
Chris. Meanwhile, Chris was at the hospital.
What
He
on
got his
earth
foot
happened?
stuck in the refrigerator.
Oh, figures. I slammed the door on my own foot.
It was a tragic accident, and Chris lost his foot.
Yeah, I lost 3/4 of my foot, ankle wise.
Now he
Now
actually
I
needs
can't be
a
an ankle
wheelchair.
model anymore. That was going to be my main career.
He
What?
actually needs a wheelchair now.
Okay,
So
that's just a little kind of
far.
far.
Sorry.
Yeah, because I am actually in a wheelchair. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I kid. Yeah.
I keyed.
Okay, that was okay. Go proceed with the story. Proceed
So
with.
Riley wrote him a get well card. It was a
But
very
Riley
warming
didn't
get
know.
well
But
card.
Riley didn't know he was at the hospital yet. He went to the. He was going to the park. He was at the park, Riley.
Riley was at the park writing his little get well soon
Ah,
card
okay, that makes a little more sense.
on the swing.
On the swing. How? Wow, he must be stronger
He was
than the
very
average
talented at
human.
writing when he was moving.
Was he artistic?
He was autistic.
Okay, okay.
That's terrible. I can't believe I made that joke. That's the worst joke ever. Jeez.
We're so terrible. I feel
That
kind of
is
bad.
the. Oh, okay. I take that back. I feel really bad now. But, anyways, Riley would swing every day. And eventually, Chris ended up coming to the park with a quarter of a foot
With a
on
quarter
his
of a
right
foot.
leg.
So what Chris had to do was he had to implement cutting edge smartness, and he actually
He used his IQ.
he became less retarded, and
Riley
he
still
he
stayed the same.
developed a bionic foot. It just grew out of his leg. It just
And
grew out
Riley
of his leg.
stayed the same.
Wait, Riley did the other thing. What did he feel bad for Chris? The poor Chris.
No. He didn't quite understand what was going on. He's like, Riley said this to Chris. What happened to foot? Because this was back in the BC days, right?
Right,
BC
right,
days.
Rabbit Fair.
So language was not a concern. And
Indeed, it
then
was not, for they were fraught with fear.
Chris ended up dying because his bionic foot contained uranium. And he
What?
became a radioactive monster and killed everybody in the town,
That's how
including
Terminator
himself.
started, my friends.
The end. So, as
Okay,
we
okay.
dissect the story, we can tell that our main characters were, of course, Riley and Chris. And it was a very dark story.
Well, we could observe first off that indeed, when we look at the story, uh, we can relate to in real life how Riley is retarded. It's just he said Chris was because he kind of felt bad for himself, if that makes sense. But
Yep.
but we go farther in depth into the story, and we hear that Chris unfortunately closes his foot in the fridge door. What was the door made of? Was it like
The
razor
door was
sharp?
made of solid iron,
It was the big
and
door from
it just
Tron.
kind of crushed his foot into a pulp because it was so heavy.
Oh, that's dreadful.
Yep.
It's bloody
No
dreadful, my man.
blood. His skin stayed like a bag and held together all his crushed parts.
Okay, Riley. Now that we know Riley has a deep, dark, fantasy for broken legs.
That's terrible. I'm so bad. I'm
Yeah, I'm
terrible.
gonna be nervous for your wife. Like,
Mm,
okay, okay,
nothing's gonna
that's
happen.
terrible. I love the broken legs. I love how the broken legs just wobble around,
Wobble around.
wobble
Wobble,
around.
wobble.
Okay, and it was a pretty good story.
Yeah.
There was a
Do you have a
climax. The
story, Chris?
climax
Do you
was
have
when.
a better story to tell?
Okay, yeah, I do. I
I
do.
don't think so.
I think I do. Okay, so once upon a time, because all good stories don't start with once upon a time I was reading a book. But once upon a time, there was this kid called Chris Town, and
For
he was
town.
famous because he made money on YouTube. A lot of money on YouTube. He was third most subscribed on YouTube. He surpassed Nigahiga and
And Smosh.
and actually Smosh is number 2, Riley.
Oh.
But that was not the thing. Like the thing was that at that time, I mean, the big problem was for Chris that people were just saying stuff to him that they didn't really meant. Like, they were just smothering him with affection because he was so amazing. I
While
mean, it
Riley
happens
sat
in
in a
real life.
timeout chair.
Yeah, Riley was kind of clinically, kind of clinically depressed at the time,
He was off just a little bit.
but uh, it happens in real life all the time. But so anyway, Chris sought out his best friend Riley Flather, who was also with Infamous from YouTube, and I'll tell you a small secret real quick. Their YouTube subscribers that were at 160, kind of tweeted out all those videos and Facebooked them,
Mm-hmm.
and they became very famous,
Yes.
and it actually happened. And
Hmm.
they became famous, and then they repaid their subscribers with giveaways and all sorts of wonderful jazzy stuff. But anyway, back to the main spot of the story. So he set up on this quest for a better future with Riley, and they stumbled upon this guy called Gossi, Gossi, Gozi,
Gozi. Who's
Gozi.
that?
He's he's a guru. But anyway, I mean, when they discovered that Guru was in fact like a hippie that was on meth, they tried escaping him, but he already tied them to his van and dragged them across a dirt gravel road. Fortunately, the scars were prominent, and they were, you know, they were considered suicidal,
Yep.
unfortunately. So, of course, they had to put Riley and Chris to death. The end.
Now this story has a good moral.
That is never seek out hippies
Yep.
that take meth.
Yep.
Well, guys, that's going to conclude part 2 of our amazing storytelling slash podcast slash IQ test thing.
Yep. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Part 3.
Part 3. Beauty. Bye, guys.